It's Biggsy doing another video. Just going to talk about Donald Trump, to be honest. I see this sort of great change for America on the horizon, and he's detached from the system. I mean, some people make queries. Is he right for the job, etc. How he's performing. I mean, he's trying to be right for the job, and he's working with the people. So that's part of that research. So yeah, I think basically Trump's a good thing for America. If you look at the alternative, they're all tied into the system, and I think he also developed the role. So it's not what he says now. Develop. I mean, he's open for advisors. At least he's getting the right people into place. And just listen to his sexual speeches. I mean, people say he's a racist, a sexist, and everything else. It's very easy for someone to throw comments, and also people just, their only knowledge is the media. They don't have the ability to research things themselves. It's just the reality. A lot of people have been indoctrinated into this kind of, if you've got a problem, they ask you, basically you raise something, and they ask you a question, and like you can answer their problem for them. They just need to get there and sort it out themselves. And he may bring about certain other leaders to come forward, and at the end of the day, it should be about the voting, what the people vote for. There's people doing these anti-rally things and paid protesters, and it's quite sad if that's the reality. If there's sort of this control issues, they say you never have true power if you're not willing to let it go, and that's probably what the elite need to realise. You can't selfishly control everything. It's just not right. In the end, it's doomed to fail. Empires rise and fall, but I know there's been a continuation of basically stuff from Babylon. It's just evolved in different forms, and other cultures have merged together, and now you've got this sort of mixture of cultures. But you have to evolve beyond that. Now what do you do? Now you've got sort of systems in place that balance things out. I mean, do they need a proxy wars and stuff like that? I think Trump's right in that with the US military, if they've got almost like security contracts, that people should pay for their services if that's what they want. But it does make them sort of like mercenaries. The issues it could be is that the country wants to go to war, or got an issue, and they may pay enough to actually for them to support their campaign, because it could be that they're unevenly matched in resources against another country. So it's interesting how it plays out, but I think it's better this open way of believing, rather than having all these sorts of like, oh, there's terrorists over there, or mass weapons of destruction, or whatever reasons. Let's go invade this country. It's I mean, a lot of you might get from government say, oh, it's conspiracy. But if you're lying to people and you're telling them what to believe, then you kind of, I mean, you're stopping the free thinking, and people need to be free thinking. What's the point of being alive if you're just a robot? So it's kind of having that free thinking society that they need. There's likely some big changes. I mean, there's going to be some negative ones. It's just the impact of things. Hopefully it improves things. I mean, kind of Obama was supposed to be this champion of peace, but he was well keyed up into the system, so he's kind of groomed for the role. I mean, he's a nice enough man, but he's just doing the job basically. Trump doesn't need a job. That's the point. The point is he's doing it. It's selfless. He could just walk away from it if he wanted to. Wouldn't lose anything apart from the money he's invested into it. It's not like he'd get a tax return on it, but he wants something. So for his future, I guess a legacy. That's what he was working towards. I've mentioned that he's kind of like God's messenger, and I think in reality that's true. He's being influenced to do things because he's the most capable of doing it, and he's also not tied into an old system that will basically bring out more of the same. I think when one person suffers, we all suffer. There's certain realities that we're not tuning into. It's like people go, well, it doesn't matter what happens to them as long as I'm rich or got power. But the power and richness is just like printing off paper. It's nothing really. It's all fighting over resources. But I think if we just get all together, then that'd be the problem solved. So it'll be interesting to see what happens. I feel that Trump will likely be elected. If it's fair, then he will. If it's this kind of like, well, it doesn't matter what the public think. At the end of the day, we pick the leader sort of from this elite group. Well, then why it's about the shadow government then. So the shadow government rules everything, and it's just like a mass lie basically. That the front house doesn't really mean anything. It's like I always wonder about the royal family and how they're all interlinked. Are they just sort of silent partners in this business? How do they fit into everything? Or are they just a part of the legacy back from Babylon? So it's interesting developments. Some people say a lot of nasty things about Trump, but he's just a human being, and he goes about things in a different way, more like he gets things done, but by any means. But there's no mass blood on his hands. He hasn't declared a war. You have to basically judge a man by his actions. So if he's put his head on the line and said, look, I would like to be the president, this is what I'm willing to do, and I will do exactly what I say, then you know what you got. If for some reason he doesn't do what he says, or he turns against it, people just revolt against that, won't they? It's a simple process. Or challenge that system. He just won't be re-elected. People just need to be on board with who they elect and put into power. Anyway, this is Pixie signing off, and speak to you soon. Bye.